This video is for someone who grew up not having parents or peers. I can relate to you. I'm not saying my experiences will help you, but hopefully it can be helpful besides what you may have heard or not heard prior to listening to this video. When you don't have parents or peers, it's good to get around someone who's had the same experience as you. Just know how they did it so that you can know how you can do it, how you can overcome despite not having parents or peers. You could still have parents or peers, but they pretty much don't see you as relevant in their life, nor are they relevant in your life. I've been there, trust me. But over time, this really starts a chain reaction inside of you. It makes you realize that in all your despair, there was something beautiful that was hiding underneath that rubble all that time. The beauty was you were too great for your parents and your peers. As a matter of fact, you were so great that they did not want you around, that they had a hate on you at any given moment, whether it was to outright attack you, antagonize you, always disagree with you, or they may just pretty much not include you in on things, include you in their life, not stay in touch with you. But they know that you're greater than them. That's why they treated you that way. They actually were just trying to stay away from you. Just know that. Don't think that you're less of an individual. Don't think that you're the scum of the earth. Don't think that there's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. If anything, there was something wrong with them being around you because it was them. It was never you. And always remember that anybody that walks away from you had something wrong with them, whether they admit to it or not. It was something about you that they felt was somewhat of a threat or even a nuisance to them. If you were a positive person most of the time, the only nuisance was maybe there was something about you that they hadn't quite mastered about themselves. But see, the idea is that my race is not your race. It's not about one trying to outmaster the other. That's what a lot of people don't get or understand. All these things that we have with these debates and these, I can see a misunderstanding to a certain extent. But what I can't see is people that continue to misinterpret another person or continue to take things out of context or, you're just not willing to hear what another person has to say. You'll take your word for things no matter what another person has to say. So those who grew up without peers or parents can relate to that story of mine. And so for the one watching this video who has no one to relate to, you have me. Just know that if you really feel like you have an issue or you have no one else to talk to that can relate to you, I'll put my email in the description section of the video. Just press the down arrow so you can look at the description, depending on what type of device you're using. But don't ever feel like you're alone out here. Even if you're the loner or the lone wolf type, I don't care. There's somebody out here that's also been through the same thing you've been through. And they've overcome a lot of that stuff. Or they're still going through it, but sometimes it's good to go through something like that with another person that's going through that too. Birds of a feather only flock together to attack someone that they did not want in the flock or who was never part of the flock. But when you are actually wanting to ride alongside someone that's going through some things, you truly show that you care. And so always get around someone that really cares about you. They really care about you wholeheartedly. They really don't want to see you in despair. They really don't want to see you depressed. They really don't like it that you are. And they want to do everything they can to make sure that you're never that way. They always want to look out for you. They truly and genuinely see you as their friend. I haven't talked about the parents, we're just, that was just peers, what I mentioned about peers. Now with parents, this gets a little tougher as you get an adult. Yes, I understand it. Um, the best way I would say is to just volunteer to help some elderly people. That's helped me a lot. And it's usually elderly people that liked my company. A lot of them usually have been able to just share with me a lot of their wisdom and insight, and have supported me in many ways. That helps a lot as you get older when you know you don't have no parents or nobody to look up to. Not that you ever had. Not that you ever had. Um, so, but just don't truly be out here by yourself, even though you are in many ways. That just don't truly be like that overall. You just become very negative, and you only attract that type of company if in due time. With maybe people who think the same way to a certain extent, um, or you just end up hating the world. And I don't want to see you hate the world. You know, get around people that really mean you well, and they are positive, and they only say things out of love, never out of hate. You know, um, and they love your ideas. You know, they're not always trying to debate you on your thoughts in your heart, in your mind, things that you've had to deal with alone when you've had nobody. So that's just what I would have to say overall, um, for those who've, for most of their life, never had parents or peers. You know, just keep your head up, and if nothing else, just email me, and we could chop it up more. Because I definitely don't want you to think that you're alone out here. You're not. And your thoughts, your heart, your mind, your life matters too. You know, it does. If no one else has told you that, I have. Signing out.